Sega had Sonic the Hedgehog, a lightning-fast 16-byte blast-processing beast of a game.
So Nintendo got hard at work and rushed out Super Mario World in 1991. That's right, Nintendo rushed out their game to compete with Sega, but to be honest, it worked. Mario World sold over 20 million copies upon its release. Its success? Mostly thanks to a lovable green dinosaur named Yoshi, who can eat his competition, and a yellow cape that can make Mario fly like a balloon. Or like my hair in the winter.
Mario Teaches Typing, 1991. Mario went to the PC. Wait, Mario went to the PC?
Yes, Mario decided to teach your kids how to type with this educational game designed to make your children key-tapping machines. It's not as fun as, say, Typing of the Dead, but at least Mario did his bit.
Super Mario Bros. And Friends, When I Grow Up, 1991. This image sums it up. Peach is a judge, Mario is a lawyer, and Bowser is the accused. You can then call them in. 1992. Released for the NES and the Game Boy, this was a puzzle game where you had to fill eggs with enemies and make them hatch little Yoshis.
Surprisingly, this game received negative reviews, with critics complaining about its repetitive gameplay and its reliance on luck. But isn't that like every puzzle game?
Yoshis Cookie, 1992.
Another Yoshi-centric game.
See, I told you the public love him.
Yoshi's Cookie involved lining up identical-looking cookies for the hungry dinosaur to eat. The game was originally not a Mario game, but actually an original puzzle game called Hermetica. Nintendo brought the rights to the developer and turned it into Yoshi.
Why?
Get more money.
Super Mario Kart, 1992. I'll do this one because you hate this game. Helping popularize the karting racing genre, Super Mario Kart was an incredibly hard racing game that made use of Nintendo's Mode 7 graphics. This feature created true three-dimensional racing tracks. Well, they were still flat, but you felt like you were driving. It sold 8 million copies, left a huge mark on the gaming world, spawned its own spin-off series, and is Dan Aykroyd's favorite game.
It also had playable Koopa. Mario Paint, 1992. Yeah, Mario Kart made kart races popular, but Mario Paint was the true inspirational Mario game. The game came with a mouse that you used to draw your own drawings and compose your own music. Still to this day, people compose their own pieces and put them online for audiences to hear. On top of that, the development team of WarioWare DIY have cited Mario Paint as the game that taught them the joy of developing video games. Take that, Mario Kart!
Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, 1992. Mario's second Game Boy adventure improved upon the original, giving players bunny ears, better graphics, and way more levels.
At 4 megabytes, it was one of the largest Game Boy games ever made. It also introduced Wario, Mario's evil doppelganger, who became so popular, he got his own game in 1994 with Super Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3.
Shortly after this, he got his own series. But we're not doing that. Because it's not Mario, it's Wario. And we'll be here forever.
True story, I found Mario Land 2 while working at my local charity shop and took it for free. I won't tell you where though, but it is next to a pizza shop.
Mario is Missing, 1992. Luigi got his first leading role where he had to find his missing brother. Too bad it was an educational game where Luigi went around the world learning geography.
Mario's Time Machine, 1993. In the same year Mario's rival went speeding through time, Mario did the same in order to stop Bowser stealing historical artifacts. It's a great idea on paper, but too bad it was another educational game where Mario learned history.
Mario and Wario, 1993. In this puzzle game, you play as a fairy called Wanda, who has to guide Mario around dangerous hazards. Why can't Mario do it himself?
Because Wario put a bucket on his head.
Why doesn't Mario just stop moving and take off the bucket?
I don't know.
Super Mario Bros. The movie, 1993.
Oh, what a classic. Not only did every actor involved in its production hate it, it was also received poorly by critics and fans, as well as being a box office bomb, recuperating only 21 million of its 48 million budget, which shows audiences back then were a lot smarter. In fact, the only people that liked this film is Howard Hinson, who said it was a blast, and Shigeru Miyamoto, who said the film was fun.
Despite all this negativity, these Goombas are still pretty terrifying. If I got stuck in the elevator with those Goombas, I'll be crying in the corner. Super Mario AllStars, 1993.
Super Mario Bros., Mario Bros. 2, 3, and The Lost Levels were all released in one big SNES collection.
The game updated the NES classics with 60-byte graphics and sounds, and was well received upon release.
An alternate version was released in 1994, which also included
Super Mario World.
That makes it the best Mario game ever made. Holy mushrooms. Too much excitement, I gotta jump out the window.
No, Dexter, no, don't! Dexter,
It's too big for me!
Yoshis Safari, 1993.
Mario's never done a shooter? Then you've never heard of Yoshis Safari. This was an on-rail shooter that made use of Nintendo's Super Scope peripheral. The game is played from a first-person perspective and has you riding Yoshi while gunning down enemies. Bow bow, bow 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 bow, bow 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 bow.
In the same year, Mario went back to being a teacher and released 3 educational video games. There was Mario's Early Years, Fun with Numbers, Fun with Letters, and finally, Preschool Fun.
Tetris and Dr. Mario, 1994.
Released for the Super Nintendo, this Revolution game that included Tetris and Dr. Mario.
Hotel Mario, 1994. If you like closing doors, then you'll love Monsters Inc. I'm sorry, Hotel Mario. Released for the doomed Philips CDI, this was a critically panned by nearly everyone for its boring gameplay and horrendous paint cutscenes. However, in recent years, the game has found a loving home in the wacky world of YouTube Poops.
YouTube Poops, where poop is fantastic.
Philips was also planning to produce a sequel to Super Mario World on their CD add-on with Super Mario Wacky Worlds. However, the game was cancelled. Thank goodness for that. Donkey Kong, 1994. Loosely based on the arcade original, Donkey Kong was a sequel of sorts and saw Mario going for 100 levels, collecting keys, climbing ladders, and hitting enemies with a big old hammer.
Since its release, the game has received positive reviews, with many declaring it as the best Game Boy game of 1994. Wario's Woods, 1994. Toad, that little mushroom man, got his first leading role in this unique puzzle game. The objective of the game is to clear the playing field of monsters by using bombs of various colors. The game included a time attack mode as well as 2-player versus mode that was considered a very welcome addition.
Mario's Picross, 1995. Another puzzle game, another profession for Mario. This time, the plumber became an archaeologist, chiseling away various grids to find an image.
Nintendo desperately tried to sell this game to the Western audiences, but unfortunately, they didn't care, and subsequent sequels were released exclusively in Japan.
Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, 1995.
What did I tell you? People love Yoshi, and now he finally got his own official game. This time, Yoshi carried a baby Mario through the harsh landscapes of Yoshi's Island,
throwing eggs at enemies and flutter jumping over bottomless pits. The game made use of the Super FX2 chip to create better visuals which allow for screen-filling bosses.
The game has since been regarded as one of the best games ever made and the high watermark of the 2D platformers. Despite this, the game has still not been released on the Wii's Virtual Console.
Why? Why? Mario's Super Picross, 1995. Released exclusively in Japan.
Wonder why?
This was a sequel to the original Mario's Picross, just it was more super. In 2007, the game was released on the Virtual Console in Europe for a hefty price tag of 900 Wii points.
900? I can buy a Bowser figure with that. Mario's Tennis, 1995. Nintendo's first foray into in-your-face 3D was a disaster with the headache-inducing Virtual Boy.
That didn't stop Mario showing his face in his first tennis game. The idea of seeing tennis balls come at your face must have been exciting, but the technology just wasn't there to bring it truly to life.
So now all they're doing it with 3DS. Mario Clash, 1995. Sounds like a fighting game. Another Virtual Boy Mario game. This was essentially 3D Mario Bros. As you jump between 2 planes to get rid of all the Koopas and Crabs. The game received mixed reception, with some calling it horrible, and others a good mix of arcade strategy and fun.
There was originally going to be a Virtual Boy Mario Land, but this was cancelled for unspecified reasons. Mario's Game Gallery, 1995. Released for the PC, this was a set of traditional games, such as Drafts and Go Fish, that you could play against your favorite plumber.
This was the first time Charles Martinet, the current voice of Mario, voiced Nintendo's star, though most attribute to Super Mario 64 as the first. But they're wrong.
Go fish? I'm a fishing for princesses.
Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, 1996.
What happens when you get the best RPG makers ever with the best platform makers ever? You get greatness. Mario RPG was a perfectly balanced role-playing game with an innovative and evolving battle system, a fun story, tight exploration, marvelous melodies, and of course, Geno.
It received very positive reviews, but some criticisms for its bland battle system, monotonous music, and childish characters. What the heck were they playing? Tetris attack! Yeah, little Tetris!
1996. Even though this game has Tetris in the title, it has actually nothing to do with the Russian-produced original. In fact, it has very little to do with Mario besides the use of Mario-themed backgrounds. Despite the lack of relation to its respective games, it received very positive reviews. With the 16-byte era drawing to a close, the jump to 3D had already began, with the Sega Saturn and the Sony PlayStation battling it out. Nintendo were now going to jump into the ring and bring with them a game changer.